So today we're doing a real update of how basically I'm doing, as just a normal trader, I'm nothing special. I've never received a 10k payout. I've received payouts, yes, I have received payouts, but never 5k payouts, nothing anything crazy, crazy big like that. Um, so obviously how I got into trading was probably like everyone else, you see the lifestyle, you see everything else, and you also want that, and if you're like me, you've probably tried starting every business under the sun. Funnily enough, for some reason they didn't work. I don't quite know why. Yeah, probably because you're like 16, you have like no money, and yeah, and the mate that you're doing it with probably is rubbish. So that's probably why they don't work out. But the first thing that I actually did stick with is probably trading. Okay, so I started out when I was just coming to the end of sixth form. Um, yeah, one of my mates like showed me TJR, and yeah, we watched the boot camps together. Got fascinated by trading, the fact that you can make that much money that quickly, and the whole process of just being able to read the financial markets as well as that. It really does resonate with people, and it's a great, great, great skill to have. So that's kind of what stuck with me. I started off trading ICT like everyone else, obviously, because I watched TJR's boot camp, and at a certain point, I was a bit sick and tired of not passing evals, and passing one eval and it seeming like passing an eval. You shouldn't be happy about passing an eval. Okay, that should be just standard procedure. And I think if it's getting you super excited, that's probably not great. You should be passing them all the time. Okay, and that's when I thought, there has to be more to the market than this. There has to be more than just ICT, and that's when I was thinking about order flow. And over time, I just slowly learned, and that was really when I sort of turned the corner and started gaining those payouts, passing those funded accounts, and getting in those good positions. But don't get me wrong, coming in those good positions also came with some extreme, downs. And I remember after my first month, I think I received three payouts that month. Okay. So I had my first payout followed by another two, and I was feeling great. And then we came into a new month, a new trading month, and I pretty much lost everything in a week. I lost all my funders accounts. I had four that I was copy trading. And the way that I get funders is by obviously having an account and then getting a payout, passing another account, get a payout, pass another account, get a payout, pass another account. And I was just stacking them up, and I was really ready to attack this new month, and everything came crashing down. And actually, I never actually felt like wanting to cry, but I felt like wanting to cry. I will not lie to you. And that was probably the biggest downside. I've also, just been like everyone else, and after these big downsides, I write in a notebook, that's it. I'm never doing that again, and then I'm like, all right, I'm doing one thing every day to stop this from happening. And yeah, you for some reason you go against your word, like everyone else, and yeah, you do the same thing again. Thankfully, I got through all them ups and downs, and now I'm in just sort of a neutral place. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and obviously it's December now. It's kind of like the end of it, so I'm really not trading heavy, or I'm not expecting any major payouts by the end of the year. But that's the thing. I also work as well. I've got just a little job. Like, I don't work every day, obviously, because I'm trading. But I've still got a job, and you sit there for 5 hours, and you've earned like 60 quid, and it's like, are you kidding? I mean, you just think there's got to be more to life than that, and there is more to life than that. And that's why it's super important that you realize, what you're doing, because the biggest thing that I realized is my main problem is psychology. Um, I've not even like blown anything like crazy, so it seems like I'm reminiscing, or I'm like, oh, I blew everything. I haven't. I'm still funded, and I'm still possibly on track for a payout, but I don't want to jinx anything. But if I think about it, my main problem, and you should do the same thing, my main problem is genuinely psychology. Um, coming from having that month of just great success and playing golf every day in the lovely sun, and just followed by the next couple of days just blowing everything, and then maybe getting stuck in a cycle of evals. It's just awful. It makes you want to really wait, can you say that? That's a hard thing to come from, but if you can come through it, the grass is always greener on the other side, you know what they say. And it's really about, being able to refine what you're doing in the craft. But yeah, so my current situation is that, we're currently funded, things are going well. I'm still learning. I'm not famous or anything, nowhere near that. Obviously in the future I would like to, be able to get a good platform. But even with that, I only been doing TikTok for I've barely started YouTube, but I've been doing TikTok for maybe 8 months, maybe slightly longer. I can't really remember when I started, but I remember, and I thought, it'd be a dream to get to 1,000 followers, and I got to 1,000 followers really fast. I got a bit lucky, I guess, and blew up a little bit. And I got those 1,000 followers, and then I kind of took my foot off the gas. And I was like, I need 2,000, so I put my foot back on the gas, and I got 2,000. And I was like, I need 3,000, and I'm almost getting there, close to 3,000. But sometimes I find myself slacking on the TikTok, so I really want to pick that up. And also starting very soon, I'm starting online uni. I'm doing economics and mathematical science. So that's going to be something else that I'm doing within the week, because if this all doesn't work out, the job that I want to do is like investment banking, and yeah, that's what I have a big interest in. So that's what I'm going to be doing, with my extracurriculars. Obviously the dream is to be sat there with a 12 million, contract open, making 2%, and yeah, making someone's yearly salary. But it's not always that simple, is it? We know that. But yeah, I think the biggest problem with like people is really that it's the fact that they're not emotionally like understanding enough. And yeah, you think easy come, easy go. You got the payout easy, you can lose it easy, and that is really how simple it is. And I know a lot of people are not going to be up on trading, like the amount that they've spent with, for example, Top Step compared to what they've got the payouts is a very big negative. Thankfully, mine is positive. Yeah, I would not want it to be negative. I cannot lie, but yeah, mine is positive. So I've earned more from trading than I've spent on it, which is probably a good thing. I also invest a lot of money as well. Basically, all of my salary that I earn from doing like my job, I basically work on the weekends. Like that's it, for a couple of hours. Literally every penny I earn from it is going into compound interest. So even if everything fails, hopefully I'll still be a millionaire. But obviously a millionaire is so much lower than you would ever think. There's just people with so much. Anyway, I want to go into some key things, okay? So about, what my plan is moving forward, what my content's going to look like, where I want to be in 6 months. So my plan moving forward is to really attack next year, vigorously. I'm going to be following the same, I don't go out. I cannot remember the last time I ever went out. I can't remember the last time I had a sip of alcohol, okay? And I don't do it for, religious reasons. I just do it because I don't want to be that guy, Why are you out here sinking pints when you don't even have like 10k to your name? Or not even 10k, okay? That's like unrealistic, like like TikTok, like what you see on Reddit. Like someone will bang like a post up on Reddit saying, I have 100k at 20. Is that good? Like, obviously, that's. Some people are out and they don't even have £1,000 in savings. I mean, come on. Like, you're spending every penny you have on that, and I think it's just degenerate, and I think it's a waste of time, honestly. But my plan moving forward is to be following the same thing. I go to the gym 5 days a week. So I go to the gym. I wake up. I eat the same meals as well. Right now I'm bulking. That's why my face looks literally like chubby as hell. Like, look at me. Anyway, when I'm all cut, I'm gonna be looking nice and tan, in the Spanish sun. But I eat the same meals. I do the same thing every week, and yeah, eventually it's gonna pay off. And hopefully some of you guys will be still through for the ride. But I've had lots of friends that have tried it, they've failed, they give up, and then that's it. But something about me, there's something about me. I'm just not gonna give up, and that's really the key important things. But with my content, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm going to get 10k followers. I'm going to get 10k followers on TikTok. There is 0% chance. Come on, guys. Like, I'm funny, possibly. But anyway, that's going to consist of posting a middle of funnel TikTok and a top of funnel TikTok. And obviously between 2 to 4 YouTube videos a week, which isn't that much. It's very, very doable. And there's lots of YouTubers that are going to work 10 times harder than me. But I'm just going to do the best that I can. With my trading, I already have a strategy that works. I'm using order flow, and things are going okay with that. I just need to make sure that I'm spotting the correct things, and keeping it all in check, and just making sure that I'm not doing anything stupid, not blowing anything. And my really big goal for next year is to make my risk my risk is just so good that it's impossible that I blow a funded account, because my risk is so good. And I know probably like no one's even watching now, because I'm looking at my recording time. I've been recording for 12 minutes, so after I've edited it, I don't know what time it'll be. But who wants to listen to me ramble on? But maybe one of you do, and I appreciate you. And I tell you what, leave a comment under, like, say the word, say quant tower, and obviously trading like on your mentality, it's just brutal. Obviously, you can make money so fast, you can lose it even faster, and it's a crazy thing what can happen. But that is the game of trading, okay? That's what it's about. And if you can't face that, and if you can't do it, then trading just isn't for you. But for the few people that are out there that want to make this work, I understand you, because I'm not crazy rich. I've got a standard car, standard house. I'm not a millionaire. I'm far, far from a millionaire. But what I do know is that it doesn't matter when I will become a millionaire. What matters is the process that I follow to get there. Okay, I don't want to take any shortcuts, and I want to ensure that I'm doing the correct things, and I want to ensure that I'm putting my best foot forward. For example, in my days, like I'm gonna post a TikTok, right? It's not gonna get a million views, but it's going to push me one step closer to being able to reach my goals. And that's really what this whole process is about. Okay, trading isn't really about having perfect entries, it's about falling in love with the process of getting better and better and better. Trading becomes a thing that just happens in the day, and in order for you to do it well, you need to perfect your craft. And that means perfecting your risk, perfecting your strategy, perfecting your mentality. And like I said, for the next, where I see myself in 6 months is, I want to be having that perfect risk management and perfect mentality, because every now and then I do see a little crack in myself, and I do sit here thinking, I just want to fall apart. But yeah, I wouldn't do that if I was you. But so that's been me. My name's Brad, not BA Trades, just Brad. So you can call me Brad. But no, I hope to see you on the journey, and yeah, let's get these payouts, buddy. Bye.